stranger to tit-for-tat approach to some political issues, and this is not about to stop. A former lawmaker representing Adamawa North Senatorial District in the National Assembly, Senator Elisha Abbo, has written a petition to the National Judicial Council and President Bola Tinubu against a judge elevated from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court, Justice Chioma Nwosu-Iheme. Senator Abbo said Nwosu-Iheme and members of the panel made up of Mohammed Ibrahim and Olabode Adegbenigbe erred when they declared Amos Yohana of the People's Democratic Party the duly elected senator of the district. As such, he wants the NJC and President Tinubu to stop the elevation of Nwosu-Iheme to the Supreme Court until an investigation is conducted. Interesting stuff. Bikil.
Yes, I do not know, I do not have the full details of what transpired behind the scene or in public, but any request to investigate a judge in my country, I will support. Any request.
Could you say that again? Any request?
Any request to investigate a judge.
Right, a judge, yeah.
You know, I will support it.
Why is that?
Because we've seen a lot of funny things that judges have done, a lot of judgments that you will know in your heart that it was wrong.
Doesn't cut it. Yeah.
Okay. Why would some people not take part in party primaries and they found themselves in the Senate, for example? How did that happen? That even the Supreme Court will now be using technicalities. Meanwhile, this is what they've always said, don't use technicalities. You know, I was listening to the judges of the Supreme Court literally attacking the appeal court the other day by saying, if we continue along this line, we will be given the judiciary a bad name. Say, same Supreme Court? Can you wash yourself and smell roses? You people? You can talk because you disagreed with the appeal court in just one out of the governorship petitions that you had to adjudicate over. It was only one case, the case of Plateau.
That's right. That's right.
That they disagreed, and it was enough for them to say, if you continue along this line, the judiciary will be brought to disrepute and all that. Some of the actions of the Supreme Court itself have made many people to lose confidence in the judiciary. Sure. We've had, Elisha Abbo is talking about the need to investigate Chioma Nwosu-Iheme because his argument was that they cancelled elections in 253 polling units out of 924, which in his opinion amounted to election being cancelled in 27% of the total polling units. You know, he said that in the process, 155,800 voters were then disenfranchised in the process, enabling the PDP candidate to win. Yeah. These are allegations, weighty allegations. Anyone who loses his position and he feels that he's been cheated, just that man in Yobe now that had to lose his seat to the former Senate president, you will feel bad. Especially, he has some facts that we don't have. You know? But this is the same judicial system where even some votes that were taken away because the ballots were not stamped were restored. There is no consistency. You cannot say with finality that, this is what will happen. Look at what happened in Osun when they said that, they should have used the manual register to determine overvoting. When the electronic module was there, it was there. You understand? So if this is what Elisha Abbo is saying, to discover the truth, it makes sense to investigate. Yeah. In fact, people tell us that one of the reasons dollars is scarce is because a lot of dollars get paid to judges. Wow. That this season, that they spend so much.
That remains in the realm of speculation.
Yes.
Or assumption.
Yes, but the same NJC has punished judges before on account of corruption. Abi, you want me to reel out judges? Look at a judge who arrested a judgment and decided a case in favor of his governor. What did the NJC do? The NJC punished him after he had left the service and became a traditional ruler.
Even when under Buhari, when they invaded judges' homes, what did they find?
They not find dollars there.
It's hard currencies. They were finding
hard currency, the medium of exchange in the country. Did they not
and
find
huge amounts of hard currencies.
Well, if you look at what transpired after the governorship, the Supreme Court judgments, some of these gubernatorial elections in the past general election, what we saw in Plateau State, the reason why some of those lawmakers were sacked, and we saw the drama that ensued afterwards, and then these same judges or justices were to be elevated to the Supreme Court. That Supreme Court also flayed them, criticized them for giving that kind of, perverse judgments, to use their word. How do you see, this?
Who described their own as perverse?
Is the Supreme Court?
No, their own judgment where people didn't take part in primaries got into the Senate.
But the truth is, the law has made them the final authority.
Yeah.
But when you condemn judges based on their judgments, why are you elevating them to the Supreme Court?
Because they are the next in line. You can't bring anyone, from below, or you can't begin to...
Nobody says you cannot recruit.
So what happens? You want to recruit them outside of the country. That's the dilemma.
Are there, in the case of those plateau lawmakers, are there judges?
Yeah, some of them are among those who will be elevated. I've forgotten the name. I was trying to look for the name.
There are many.
There are some among them that will be elevated to
yes.
The people did it.
Yeah, the names were already forwarded by the president.
But the thing is, let us even look at it this way. Those judges ruled that PDP didn't do. The court told them to go and do congresses. They did congresses in only 5. PDP members were the people who went to court from the beginning. You understand? People from Jerry Hussaini's camp. It was a contest, it was a fight between Jerry Hussaini and Jonah Jang. I've seen PDP members cursing those 2 old men that they were the ones who made them to lose. Whatever the Supreme Court says, there was, in the view of the court, a reluctance to obey its judgment. You understand? And they claim that, yes, we had congresses, but the INEC didn't supervise any congress, and the High Court claimed that there was no correspondence, no document to it to show that his order was carried out. That was where the problem arose. Now, some courts will say that the issue of sponsorship of candidate and nomination of candidate are both pre-election and post-election matters. Yeah. If that was not the case, Supreme Court in Jagede and Akeredolu, they voted 4-3. Akeredolu almost lost. Whereas it was Jagede that filed the action.
But the opinion of the Supreme Court is that you are a meddlesome interloper if you get involved in, and that happened with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that happened with Peter Obi in this general election. You get what I'm saying? And that is, today in Nigeria, that is the law.
I have seen where...
No, that is the law, because...
even some of their own judgment, I've seen the Supreme Court go against some of these things. It's not healthy to say some of these things. And I'm saying they ruled 4-3. It was Jagede, a member of a different party, that sued the ruled 4-3. Let's not forget, and let's go and read the judgment of the judgment of those three.
The minority judge.
Yes, because so they say, how do you? The same law says that if you didn't take part in primaries.
But now that's the position of the law. What you are saying years back. You are right. But now that's the position of the law.
By the last
because the judgment of the Supreme Court is part of our law.
But the Supreme Court, they say,
you see, it's just the inconsistency that I don't like. Because I see sometimes
at some point
when you ask yourself,
at some point we were criticizing the judiciary. I think what some people call judicialization of our election process. Yeah. Did you see it that lately the Supreme Court just seems to say anybody declared by any, just let them go, just let them go.
Without that is also not right.
They must have, you know, realized
they are doing that
the
to give them a good PR.
Yes, public opinion. Because there are some governors, I won't mention, you know, states that the elections were rigged.
Yes. So this is the job of the Supreme Court if we cannot correct that.
So some people are now coming. I attended some workshop and I saw the anger, the opinion of people that what the Supreme Court. So now you will see that with the way things are going now, some people are now saying the Supreme Court should just say, oh, the election was done properly, go on. If it's not done, go and do it then. Not choose winners, not choose losers. You understand what I'm saying? That's the new opinion some people are saying now. So in Nigeria,
I know those who did not win this last election.
And they're now.
And the Supreme Court, since they decided that whatever
I decide
they are governors today. They didn't win. In their hearts, they know they didn't win.
Yes, no. Some people ran because they were afraid that Supreme Court will actually.
Our correspondent even told us that one almost had hypertension when the Supreme Court was.
I know
that didn't win. Okay, anybody, whatever the outcome of the election, you are just Supreme Court will just abide by, because they felt that people will say why Supreme Court.
Isn't that setting bad precedents, for our election?
So it means that I can rig.
Just rig your election.
I can rig. Let me just struggle to rig. Once I get there, the Supreme Court will validate me as the winner.
But are we not the same people that keep, criticizing the Supreme Court too?
I know some people.
Our politics is extremely complicated.
But I know that some people will say that yes, the courts shouldn't be determining. I don't know where they got the argument from. Even in the U.S., courts are determining who wins the election. So we just start. Somebody says some others will just be saying courts should not get involved in who wins. So if there is blatant rigging, bare face rigging, in your face rigging, you are saying that it should be the courts will accept it like that. So why are people going to court? If everything that transpired will be validated by the Supreme Court, it's nonsense.
But we also must admit that there is no place on earth where in their electoral process they see this manner of petitions, this flood of petitions, almost including unnecessary ones.
Yes, but
so much that they overburden the judiciary.
But in the process, if there are clear cases of rigging, I was listening to one of these Yaga girls. He said that there were places where election didn't take place, that they know. They put their people on ground. Election didn't take place at all. Right. People complained they didn't see ballot materials, but votes were allocated to those places. Yeah. At the end of the day, all of those bare-face rigging will still be validated at the court. So
and at the end of the day, people are not descending or even INEC for allowing that to happen. How would you come
INEC will get away with it? If Supreme Court will
instead of always, dissenting on judiciary, what about the INEC? It takes a lot of money to do it.
If you can find the evidence that INEC didn't let election take place.
But you just mentioned
if we were to follow that, let me just say, if we were to just allow whatever transfer election day to be validated, someone like Natasha will not have been, senator. And Natasha won 4 out of 5 local governments in her constituency. The person that she's divided won only 1 local government.
And INEC announced.
So if that matter,
we have to. we're actually,
yes. So if the matter had gone to Supreme Court,
call out INEC.
If the matter had gone to Supreme Court will have validated what INEC said.
We need to go. It's a Sunday, and we still need to go back home and take some rest before we start the Holabalu, hustle and bustle of Lagos tomorrow.
Honestly, as a country, I don't understand. Let them investigate the woman. If they find her guilty.
No,
thank you so much for your keenness of insight. So far, just 2 hours appears like it's just 30 minutes and 1 hour. Then Adekunle Yusuf, thank you so much too for your time and also your insight into some of the topics that we have. And thank you too for watching. That's all on Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for